I was raised by two parents who were polysubstance abusers, alcohol and drug addicts. They were good parents, they loved me, but when my father went to prison at the age of 5, my mom couldn't hold it together anymore and she became very abusive. My father was no longer around, and when he did get out of prison, he too was very abusive.
About 4 years ago, I fled an abusive marriage. I've been married for 12 years. After I left, I tried living with friends, I tried living with family, and could never actually be safe.
I was been on the streets for off and on for 2 years. I had mental issues. I've had like some health issues and stuff like that. When I was on the streets, I've heard people like sit there talk about it. It's like, why don't you go down the Rare Breed and try it out?
We were very fortunate, my sister and I, that I had an Aunt Gail who was always there for me. And at 13, with all of the damage that had happened to me and the abuse that had happened to me, she said, no matter what you do, I'm always going to be here for you. And in that moment, I knew that I wanted to be there for other kids that had been in my situation.
My only safe place to go was to Harmony House, and I moved into the emergency shelter there with my 3 sons. When I moved into Harmony House, I slept, and when I slept, I was able to stop and think about my situation, and I knew that I wanted to be safe, and I knew that I wanted to be free, but I couldn't take those steps until I was actually safe at night. So Harmony House gave me this basis to begin taking steps toward my freedom.
They've greatly put me back on course. I'm working on my mental health. I've got a job. I'm off the streets. I have my own apartment, which I can grow and expand where I can eventually go back to school when I want. It's a great place. They've helped me, and I believe into what they've done. I hope I can come back and do more and volunteer my own part and to help out and come true with what they've done for me.
I came to college. I got a degree in criminology and sociology. And a teacher came to me and said, Lonnie, I want to talk to you about the Rare Breed. She told me about the Rare Breed and what they do. I went there to volunteer and I fell in love. 2.5 months later, I began working there, and now 9 years later, I coordinate youth services. It was that passion that my aunt had, that she loved me and was never ever going to let me go no matter what I did, that I now convey to these youth. And the United Way has allowed us to provide these services to these youth. So it's not just shelter for these kids, but that person in their life that says, we love you, we care about you, and we're here to help you.
I consider it a blessing for me to be able to work in a capacity where I can give back to the community. Not only can I use my own voice and my own time to talk about my story, now that I'm finally strong enough to do that, but also I'm able to encourage young people at Missouri State to get outside of what they've always known, to understand that our community is larger than what they've known in the 19 years that they've been on the earth. And that it is very powerful for me to see a student have an experience with a community partner that changes them, changes who they are, and changes how they feel about their role in the community.
You know, if we focus on our kids, it's going to help us on down the road. In my day job as the chief of police, you know, I like to make sure that we're having an impact on future generations to make our job easier, make our community safer, and involving ourselves in groups like that help kids, provide positive role models, and help them make good decisions, good choices to make sure they become productive citizens later on is certainly a focus of United Way and the organizations it represents.
The United Way is such an amazing organization. They came to us because it said, how can we help you? Because they had seen what we had done. They really do their research in the community to see where the gaps are and where they can fill in to meet the needs of people who are not having their needs met. They appropriate the money in the best way possible, really trying to get it to the people who need it and are going to use it appropriately.
I'm real hopeful, and I think that is what, it certainly is what United Way does. It brings hope to our community. It brings all the positive possibilities, all the positive potential that we as a community have to offer. It's a great place to live, and I am so optimistic for what our future holds. I know that in 10 years, we're going to look back and we're going to think, wow, look how far we've come. I'm very excited for the possibility.
Hi, I'm Ned Reynolds. Thanks for watching our United Way presentation, but then again, we knew you would. After all, you are United Way. You're the stars of the show. You're the bedrock and foundation of what makes United Way a winning team. A massive thank you for everything that you have done. And having said that, this 2013 campaign is big and it is critical and it requires the help of all of us. This United Way organization in the Ozarks is one of the best in the country, and you're the ones who make it. Hey gang, go for it. Much good luck and many thanks for everything that you do.